no, you don't have to apologize, man. Thank you for coming through. And thank you for the video. So, we're about to get to the craziness, but you got Sharayna Saber going for the house investigation. But I think she's lying because it's.
Hello. I think I'm here. Oh, I am. Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Dynamodel. We're still building the Messer. I'm in the wrong place on the screen. Let me fix that. How is everybody? I hope you're doing well. As I said, we're going to be building more of the Messer today. We've got the legs done. We've got the upper core done. We got an extra hand. I think we have a piece of the waist part cut. We're doing well. Getting things done. Some big announcements this week. Apparently, with the big game con, they announced a new Gundam game coming out. I believe it's called Gundam Rogue Orbit. Looks pretty cool. I had kind of mixed thoughts on it when I first saw it. I didn't realize it was a game announcement, and I need to fix this. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Allow me. Yep. See, I shrink. Anyway, but, oh, whoa, Tiger got out of the cage. But, yeah, the Rogue Orbit looks pretty cool. Oh, why is that clipping? Okay, I think that's where I'm supposed to be. Wrong button. Could be a little smaller. All right. So anyway, but yeah, the Rogue Orbit game. Back to that. Let me try to stay on track. Jeez. It's been a long week. I worked like 65 hours this week. 68. I don't know. A lot. But, yeah, at first I thought it was going to be like another Gundam Igloo. I thought maybe it was an anime or something. And then I realized that, oh, in fact, this is a game. So, I don't know. Kind of cool. Kind of very cool. As an anime, I kind of had mixed thoughts on it, but as a game, it looks kind of dope. And maybe that's a good way of introducing a new story with a game. I'm pretty sure Bandai's done this before. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. It looks like a different kind of game. Kind of almost looks like a slasher. Little hack and slash. Oh, I know what I'm missing. But, yeah. Otherwise, I got nothing new to open for you guys. I was hoping I'd have something cool, but I don't. I haven't gone anywhere. I haven't done anything. All I've done is work this week. But nonetheless, we got a messer we can build. And we're on the waist. And then the backpack and the weapons. We might even finish it tonight. Do something crazy, get to a little panel lining or something. I don't know. Who knows? Where is chat? I don't have a chat box. I should. There it is. Bloop. Love for you. Love for you guys. There we go. Everything's working. All right. Anyway, let's just get down to business. Well, I guess, yeah. All right. We want A6, B212. I might use that track in the next bear video. I was thinking about it. I think that would be fitting for the bear. I don't know why my avatar is so crooked. Oh, yeah, dude. It's because of this. There we go. That's better. Camera got popped. Okay. I'm looking for A. Why can't I find runners? I know I have some. At one point, I had these all organized. So, I feel like I skipped a step. Did I skip something? Surely, I did. I skipped all of these steps. I skipped like 5 steps. Anyhow, come here, D. Yeah, at some point I'll pull up the game trailer. I think. I wouldn't mind watching it again. It really wasn't what I expected. I started watching the game trailer and I had no idea it was a game. I was like, oh, they're doing like another Requiem for Vengeance type thing with the CG. And then it broke into gameplay and I was like, ooh. I was like, okay, I might be on board with this. Take my money, Bandai. Go ahead, take my money. Nubs. We must file nubs. We want no nubs. Even though they actually did a pretty decent job of putting the nubs on the pegs on this one. I'm still going to file them because that's the proper way we build here. It's just what we do. It's just how we roll. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I had to work today for a little bit, but otherwise it's been pretty chill since. Can't complain. Life is good. Had me some taquitos. Almost stopped in the local book-offs while I was there getting my taquitos, but I decided not to. I refrained. Trying to be a good boy. I have big enough backlog as it is. This file is very dusty. There's the brush. Let's put you over here, Mr. Runner. was watching a video the other day of someone who's been using water when he sands, wet sanding, which I wet sand when I paint. That's actually how I fixed the big glob on the bear. I wet sanded it. I should have made a video about that. It actually was a process that I thought about it, but I didn't know if what I wanted to do would work. So I don't know. I should have recorded it as I did it. I'm sure I will stick my finger in a paint job again, and we'll make a fantastic how to fix your paint job when you stick your finger in it video. It is just these two, right? There's nothing else that goes with this. Why does this other part have like 0 nubs on it? Ah, there's... Such a sad little ballad this song is. Has the tone of a drinking alone kind of song. All right, A10. To a degree, I should have finished this kit last stream, but it was just getting late. I had to get up so early. But there wasn't much left to do of it. There we go. That's a little better. That looked weird to me. It's the tism in me coming out right there. That's what that is. Well done on the nubs on this part, Bandai. There's not much to sand. It's an easy one. We got one here. One more. And another one. Aha. Which way do you go? You go this way. Oh, wasn't expecting that to be at that angle. Is that it? Does it not get anything connecting to that? Surely. D17. I feel like I had an extra vernier already cut. It's this one. Yeah, I cut this one in the beginning of the build. I wasn't supposed to. Fortunately, it's still on the desk. I haven't really touched the desk though since I haven't been streaming. Like, kinda, the desk has been sitting here collecting dust since the last stream. I try not to, though, when I'm doing a build for streams. Like, I try to kind of, you know, keep it at least episodic if I can't finish the build. Oh, I dropped parts. Don't want to drop that one. It's one of those tracks that makes me feel like I'm doing something. Oh yeah. Oh. Did you see that? Anybody see that? I dropped that and caught it at the same time. I never do things like that and people actually see it. Must be my lucky day. guess I could zoom in a little bit for you guys. Kind of zoomed out. Is that a little better? Straighten out the map too. Where's this? Oh, okay. Oh. Why is this part so hard to hold? Damn thing just keeps bouncing out of my hand. Oh no, am I missing another vernier? No, it's in D3. Okay. Wrong runner. See if I can cut this one a little better. So it's funny, I've been staring at these legs for the last couple days though. These legs here. And I'm looking at them and I'm like, they need more panels. There's a part of me that I have, dropping paint and coins. I have 2 meshes. And I'm thinking about putting some mesh in these here skirts. Or maybe making this like try to open pivot. Like I'm looking at this kit and as I've been looking at it all week, like I don't want to paint it yet because I want to paint the Kasai and the RX-78 first. But I'm sitting here going, maybe this is a great canvas to practice some scribing and a little customizing, hatches and such. So I'm kind of thinking about it. Kind of thinking about taking a knife to this thing. Doing a little surgery. I do have some guide tape. I hope there's something else that goes around that. That seems precarious. Like those are always going to fall out. Just, you know, sitting on the shelf. We'll see. So next, A29 and A30. Okay. Why do I not see those? Oh, that was the part of the runner that broke. There is another little strip with those parts. There it is. I found it. I think I want to make an epoxy table with Gunpla runners scattered about on the inside of it. It's another thought that's been floating around my head. My mind wanders a lot. Next track, please. This song makes me think of the movie Grease. I don't know why. Poodle skirts and drive-ins. I mean, dude, that's a, like, bad place to sand. Yeah, wasn't too bad. I stand corrected. Excuse me, leg. Oh, yeah. It actually is a little bit of a tricky surface on the side. It's a little tricksy. It's not terrible, but a little. But yeah, even looking at this, like, I just see a lot of scribable surface there. I really do. Like, and I do have, like, I don't know, adding a few pieces here and there. I maybe it's just because I'm used to master grades, but I feel like there's just a lot of room for customizing on this kit. And I haven't really done a lot of, like, you know, I've done a little customizing out of necessity to hide the LEDs. Things like that, but not just to customize. And I don't know. Maybe this kit might make me take some skills to a different level. Some skills I'd actually like to refine, to be honest. Like, I would like to get a little better at scribing. Scribing is an art I have yet to kind of really be comfortable even doing, let alone master. I got a little bit better at it with the little bit that I did on the bear, but there were still some places where I would get off the line and scar it. Places it shouldn't be. But, you know, that's like this part. I feel like, you know, we could put some panels in here. Maybe a couple. Like, there's a lot of surface. It really is. The upper thigh here, this could have a little something. Definitely do something on the ankle skirt. Yeah. We'll see. It's one of those things, though. I may have to do some sketches and kind of like see how I want to design it first. I may have to do a little concept, quote unquote, art before I tear into it, because it's one of those things where it's like, once, I don't know, I kind of want to approach it with a plan if I'm going to do it. I don't want to just put lines on it willy-nilly. I know I've seen builders that I think are talented enough they can do it, but I don't know that I'm one of those yet. I might have to have, like, at least an idea first. Otherwise, I might do something and be like, oh, I wish I had. Although scribing's not permanent, can be fixed with glue. So there's that. Oh, dude, I can't pick this part up. For real. Okay, up. There we go. Elusive little guy, isn't he? Alrighty then. Which way do you go? freaking marker on my fingers. I've been fixing cabinets all week, so I got stain all over me. I scrub with stones and it doesn't come off. B2. Kimia. There's actually more parts on this skirt than I thought when I glanced at the directions. Maybe I'm kind of glad I didn't push on last stream. Oh, I didn't know they put any detail underneath there, though. That's nice. That's a little something. That is what I noticed is one of the big difference between the high grades and master grade kits. Definite detail, but like master grades at least have a little bit of detail on the back skirts and whatnot, whereas high grades don't seem to. And usually a little bit more movement. There's usually like an extra like joint or two, hanging bracket, if you will. Oh, no drone and F. I keep forgetting to take this off of the playlist. Oh, I'm sorry. That's drifting at 432 hertz. My bad. Must credit properly. It is big for a high grade. I will say that. I'm actually kind of surprised. I really didn't think it was going to come out this size when I was looking at the runners in the box. There we go. It's looking all right. See, that's like even this right here. I feel like this needs a metal etched part. I might actually have something that fits it. I did have some leftover from Dynamics. Oh, we have brackets that go with this. So we need D1, 1, 2, and 3. Oh yeah, come here. So all of this. It looks like, oh, I forgot to put that on the shoulder too. We'll cut that out right now. I remember noticing that when I finished the last stream. I was like, oh, I forgot a shoulder part. I hope nobody noticed. Shh, don't tell. I noticed. It just took a sec. Okay, so it's not this thing. 1, 2, 3. It's these. Why didn't that come out? Cut it. Didn't I? Wow, that's precision. When you actually cut the nubs, but the part is still being held in place by them. Oh, stop it. Kind of weird how that marred on the Other side. Alright, that one's pretty decent. I can live with. Ow. Kinda hurt. I have little scratches. I have like a cut on every finger of my hand right now. If I put Band-Aids on all over them, I'd have Band-Aids everywhere. Alright, so you go... What am I looking at here? You go this way. You go this way. Those two. Do I need to do this twice? I do. This one goes that way. And then that attaches to that one? Yes. But this way. Alright, there's one. Here's another. I don't know. If I wrap this up, should I switch to some games? And if so, what game? What game shall I play tonight? Believe it or not, I actually started Armored Core 6 again. I haven't actually beaten that game. I've played it up until, like, I think mission 8. And then I was kind of getting stuck, and I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of set up like Ace Combat as far as how the mission thing goes, and I know that, like, you know, you can start it over and play the campaign again, but you already have collected a little bit of stuff, and then all those levels are a little easier. Not the case. I started it over, and I'm like struggling getting past the first boss fight. And it's not even the first boss fight. It's like the boss's henchman that you have to fight first, and I'm just struggling with it. I don't know why. I've like swapped all my weapons and stuff, and I just can't seem to beat this guy. It's very strange. Because I didn't have any problems with it the first time. First time I breezed right through. I need an Armored Core person to tell me what I'm doing wrong. So where do you go? This way. Oh no! Don't fall on the ground. Fortunately, that fell in my lap. That would have been hard to find, I think. I think. Oh, I missed a nub. We have to take that back apart. That's much more good. I can get that better, though. I don't like that guy. I thought he was gone already. Need to go from this direction, I think. Am I gonna have to break out the big guns on that? I think I might. All right. Big guns. Let's see if we can do this in just one decent pass. Let's clean the crap off this first, though, huh? I really should probably go rinse these. I still don't like the side of this. I keep hitting this, but I can't make this line go away. Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, okay. Now we have no nub. And then you go... Which way? Hold on. I'm so confused. I think like that. I think like that. And then these two here. So is this the back skirt? I thought this was the front skirt. That must be the back skirt. Maybe that, or maybe he's got thrusters in the front. I mean, it does happen, I guess. Oh, come here. Don't not cooperate. Oh, wait, but these are the flap boosters. Oh, it opens that way. Okay. This is bothering me. I gotta put this part on the shoulder. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose it. I think it was this one. Maybe they're wrong. There we go. Sweetness. Sweetness, bro. Alright. Oh, we got a shield we gotta do too. There's actually a lot more parts left on this than I was thinking. Alright, moving on. B what? B what? 4 and 5. B1, 4 and 5. These guys. Grabbing my disco pig rig. Oh yeah, feeling it. Mm-hmm. Is this disco? Is it? I used to frequent a skateboard shop when I was a kid. It was all about the disco. It's probably why this ended up on the playlist. Now that I think about it. I was like, oh yeah, nostalgia. I have to admit, I'm a sucker for some nostalgia. Kind of want to go see the new He-Man movie, speaking of nostalgia. Maybe that's what I'll do. Tomorrow's the one day I have off. Maybe I should go see He-Man. It's not a bad idea. You are all cluttered again. Go over there, lens cap. The plastic won't come out of the file. Why? 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 I'll get this clean. I will. You watch me. We're not giving up. That's not bad. Right. Hopefully that'll take some nubs now. Hello, little poodle. I don't know if you guys can hear the spider in the background. My little poodle on this floor sounds like an ominous metallic spider walking into the room. Some kind of drone that's going to come in and chase you. A little shinier than I want. I wonder if I could give it a buff. Could I use to take some of the shine? One of these was like 3,000. That's better. Kind of over filed that and made it all shiny looking. Alright, you guys go this way? No. No, you go this way. No, maybe it did go that way. Which way do you go? It goes this way. It goes this way. Okay, I see how it goes now. There's a little slot there. I didn't see that. I'm like trying to push it onto the ball, but it's a slot. That makes more sense. And there we have the Messer's waist unit. Oh, there's a nub on that. Let me get that. That's very visible. Come on, come off. It's funny, for as big as it is, it's a lot of empty space. Like, there's not a lot to it. But it's big. It's a big kit. I mean, for being a high grade, it stands pretty tall, I think. I mean, we're about to find out, because I haven't actually put the legs on. Alrighty. Okay. We are there. Oh, no. Oh, I see. That's always going to be, like, annoying. Yeah. The skirts are always going to be, like, the fragile point. Okay. So can I assemble him? I think I can. Flip these up. Why this one doesn't like to stay on. The other side sits on really well. It's funny, they actually tell you like the order to do this in. I knew that vernier was gonna fall out. Did you guys see that? I may have to glue these in. It's easy enough to put back in, but like they couldn't have come up with a better way. I stand corrected. It's not easy enough to put back in. There we go. That's better. I think. Oh. And we have legs. Let there be legs. Alright, now let's fix these skirts. I don't like the design of the skirts. They're always going to fall off. I can already see this. This is going to be a thing. Okay. See? I mean, I guess it could be operator error, arguably. Why does that not want to clip in there now? Oh, grr. Let's do it this way. Better. Okay. Stand. Reasonably so. He is chunky. He's a chunky little guy. And there we go. There we have the HG, the high grade. Actually, P-Bandai Messer F02. He needs shields and a weapon, so we're not done. It's not a bad looking kit. I really am thinking about doing some scribing on this one. It's not something I would have thought about until after building it, but now that I'm looking at it and I'm like, Pinner was telling me he thinks I should paint it. For those of you that may not know, Pinner's usually here in every live stream. But he kind of lurks. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling like there's lots of room for detail on this. That, you know, someone who builds mostly master grades, I mean, they're usually pretty detailed. Like when I look at scribing some parts on master grades, it's kind of like, well, I could put an extra line there, but Wolfpack, the woof is always here. Hello, Wolfpack. I know. There's been a couple people kind of lurking here and there in the background, hitting the likes as well. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Didn't you recently I saw a community post of yours yesterday. You'll have to forgive me though. I'm literally, this has been another one of those weeks where I'm sleeping like 3 hours every night. And I think I've worked about 65 hours this week. But yeah, I saw a community post for you yesterday that I was like, oh dude, congratulations. I can't remember what it was about though. I'm drawing an absolute blank because I'm a jerk like that. Refresh me, if you would, good sir. I know there was something cool that you just did with your channel. Please remind me. Matter of fact, when I saw the post, it was like I was just getting ready to go to bed, I think. We gotta support one another, bro, whenever we can. I'll absolutely, and I love you for it. I think it's a growing community. I am feeling like that the Gunpla. I feel like it's starting to take on, and that's kind of good and bad. But yeah, what didn't you just get something happen? Didn't something just happen with your channel that was like a nice level up? Please refresh me. I'd have to scroll through my phone for a minute and go through all my history. What do you think of the Messer, by the way? I like him. I think I might practice a little scribing on this guy. Maybe that's what I'll do with it. Is maybe I'll add some mesh here and there. Throw a little metal on it. We still got to build the backpack and the weapons and the shield. But and then maybe just weather it. Do some clear coat. I could probably pick up the decals. That might be what happens with this. I wasn't really planning on building this. I was just like staring at the backlog going, what kit do I want to build? And I don't know why, but I just felt like building the Messer. I almost broke out the Penelope. But it's a much bigger kit, and I wanted to do something kind of smaller. Because I have like 4 projects going right now. I am almost done with the bear. The bear is 95% done. I will probably do some panel lining on it tonight. Maybe tomorrow. That might be a Sunday morning breakfast coffee bit that I enjoy. Oh, I'm not supposed to cut the shields yet. What am I doing? What the frick am I doing? Alright. We want backpack parts. This stuff. This is what I'm after. So we want this guy. This is such an interesting backpack. It's like, literally, it's like 2 balls. Just 2 little globes stuck together. It's funny, I didn't notice what it really looked like in the anime until I saw the parts on the runners. And I'm like, really? That's the Messer's backpack? I never knew. Looks like more than that in the anime. Alright. I gotta look. Stand by, kids. Alright, I'm back. Any votes on the poll? 100% aliens and Gundam. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the stream when I was talking about that. Like, at first I thought it was going to be like another Requiem for Vengeance or Gundam Igloo. I didn't realize it was a game trailer. Which I'll pull it up here in a few. Maybe after the backpack. For those that may or may not have seen it yet, but like there's some choice scenes in there. And I almost started doing community posts blasting it around, but there were so many people already doing it. I was late to the party. Being a new type dad is tough, but I do my best to create and post on YouTube. My YouTube shorts is my favorite to post. Yeah, dude, you do good shorts. I actually like a lot of your shorts. And I try to give you likes on them. A lot of times when I'm watching them, I'm at lunch and I just don't have like a chance to comment, but I do try to at least give you some likes there. New Gundam game is badass. Yeah, dude, it looks dope, dude. Like, well, and I thought it was going to be an anime. And then I'm like, oh, this is a game? Like, it broke out into the gameplay, and I'm like, huh. All right, all right. Gundam Helix has entered chat. Oh, well, hello, Gundam Helix. That's an honor. I raised a 19-year-old son on my own, so now I try to create as much as I can. Yeah, Wolfpack, you're kind of in the same boat as me. Like, my daughter gave me my first build for Christmas shortly after her and her fiance moved out, and then they went overseas. Currently in Japan, but yeah, it was kind of like they moved out of the house, and I actually started building originally in her room. I think maybe just because, one, that's where the desk was. So it was the logical place. And then the missus later turned that into what we call the plant room, which is full of like exotic plants. She has a massive Tycon, bunch of other things. When we're young, we got a lot of homies. Then we grow and they turn into enemies and haters, sadly. I'm a lone wolf. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. It's I can relate to that sentiment. More so in my experience, not so much haters, but what I've found is all my friends grow up and they get married and they have wives and then they have kids and then life goes on, and then you start getting together less and less, and next thing you know, 10 years have gone by, and like when you do hang out, it's like you don't know what to do with yourselves. But yeah, it's funny. It sounds like you kind of went the route I did, where it's like once the kid moved out, I was like, well, I'll fall back into hobbies. Because I was always kind of into this stuff when I was younger. But when I met the kid's mom, I sort of got out of it. Like the focus became raising my family. I didn't have the time nor the money for such things. We need some Verniers. I feel you on the lone wolf thing, though. There are times where I feel like the only person in the room when I'm surrounded by people. But I'm kind of a weirdo, admittedly. And I'm definitely a nerd, but I'm proud of that. And you should be too. Not that I'm calling you a nerd, I'm sorry. Oops, not meant as an insult. But yeah, I think it's kind of weird how I can credit my kid for getting me into the hobby. Like, I've always been a collector, but I didn't really build a lot of Gunpla. I started watching Gundam after COVID again and finally got myself some kits and never knew it was such a good hobby. I used to think Gundams was just like toys in the early 2000s. Wasn't as educated. Anime. I've kind of always knew about it. I built my first two kits in like 2003, but I didn't watch the anime. I didn't know what it was. I was just into mechs, and it was something they had at the hobby store. And then it was actually, I kind of got back into it just before COVID. It was like 2018. I started watching build videos from various creators, and I'm like, man, these are cool. And I think that come about because I've always watched like the toy channels, you know? So it was a natural thing into my feed. Needs are actually the people next to Trump, the ones controlling the world with AI, the military drone companies. It's like Metal Gear Solid. Bro, Hideo Kojima was almost a prophet. I mean, really, Kojima really was. Like, those games... When I think about Metal Gear Solid 2 and all the cinematic outtakes, like, it's almost scary. Like, I'm almost like, dude, we're just some chill people. We're just chill back people, bro. Yeah, it's funny. You know, one thing I'll say about getting into this hobby is I used to sit there and doom scroll. You know, I mean, arguably, not that I'm saying you know, you shouldn't. You should care. You should always be informed. But I mean, I would go like kind of deep down some rabbit holes. And getting into this hobby's kind of, in a way, made me like go out and touch grass too. It's kind of ironical. There's something very chill, very peaceful, very centering about it for me. We are otaku. Well, I never really considered myself that. I don't know, but I guess that could be said. There's a thought I never put. Where is the rest of my backpack? We want A22. I don't know. It's kind of, it's weird. It's been, getting into this hobby has been life-changing in a strange way. And it's actually, it's weird. It's like, it's sort of brought me closer to, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank at the word I'm looking for. I feel like since getting into this hobby, when I am like out interacting with real people in the real world, I'm not as nervous and awkward. Like, I'm more at peace, and I think it comes from doing these builds. I really do. I think there's something very calming about all of it too. Maybe that's crazy. Is that crazy? Okay, we need D4. Oh, I had a missed call. My cousin called me. I will have to call my cousin back. I guess I could call her and put her on stream. Haha. I wouldn't do that to her. That would be ambushing. That would be wrong. It would probably be kind of comical, though. She's a funny one. Yeah, you may not be wrong, Wolfpack. Otaku might actually describe my love for this hobby. Haha, dope. Like a podcast calling Space Coast vibes. The problem is if I called her right now, she probably wouldn't answer. She does a lot of Taekwondo stuff, and she usually calls me when she's like on her way to go. I think she teaches, actually. I hurt my foot in 2022 right after lockdown was lifted. Dude, man, it's kind of weird when I think about 2020, 2021, 2022, basically all the way up to 2024. It was like those years just didn't exist for some reason. And like what did go on during those years, I can't think of a lot of good that came out of any of them. So I'm sorry about your foot, homie. But it was really like those were just weird times, man. I don't know. Which way does this go? Oh, it goes in. All right, this goes this way. I'm really confused. All right, so it goes this way. Okay. Oh yeah, these are the ones that they shot when they shot Gauman down. They blew up these little verniers right here, and he fell to the ground. Oh, there's another one of those. There's two of those that go in there. And he had to learn to rewalk with my foot. And I had to learn to rewalk with my foot, but sadly seeing people stop contacting me, so-called homies, and my girlfriend at the time was nasty to my face. Yeah. Wolfpack, truth be told, I was gonna give the bear to the missus, but the missus moved out. It's very sad. I wasn't going to tell you guys, but I guess since we're talking about mean girls, I can't say she's mean. I wish her all the best. I think it was just time. We'd been together a long time. I can move around now, but I guess you can say need to find literally new friends and peeps again, laugh out loud. So strange to say and has never happened to me before. I meant she was two-faced. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I totally knew. And I guess that's kind of why I'm throwing out my story is strangely, as of this moment right now, the last week has been me trying to figure out what to do with myself. It's probably too much information. I don't mean to like spill my my life to you guys, but I guess since I have been saying that I am giving her the bear, she doesn't want the bear. What the hell, bro? I'm sorry to hear that. In these times, too, people got to stick together. I agree. Well, and you know, we still care about each other. There's no hard feelings. You know, we've been through too much together over the years to do that, but I think we've just grown apart, you know, and I respect that. It is what it is. I haven't decided what to do with the bear. I may actually just send it to the kid. Or, I don't know. I don't know yet. Undecided. I still have to finish it. Like I said, I'm about 95% done. Needs its panel lining, the decals. But I'll probably be getting on it tomorrow. In the meantime, I've just been staring at it. But yeah, you know, such is life. I will say I'm still very happy with how the bear turned out. And the fact that the kid said she wanted it made me kind of happy. Because it did turn out really nice. It didn't turn out as I had planned it to turn out, but it turned out better than I thought it would turn out. Like I was trying for a different look with the paint. And I think I know how to do that now. If I were to do it again, I think I could get what I was wanting. But I'm still very, very pleased with how that thing turned out. And I'm not done. There's still more to come with it. Once I get the panel lining done on it, I'll probably shoot a quick review video to go with the original snap build video. And then before I'm really done with it, I do want to finish up the little diorama, and I don't know if I'll add all the plants like I was planning, but I'm definitely going to add some resin water around the island and probably embed a fiber optic blacklight in there so that you can turn it on and make it glow like without it being in a blacklight. That's the plan. And thanks, man. I appreciate the sentiment. And I'm sorry to hear about your foot and all that, man. Like, it's funny how life seems so normal and chill one minute, and then, you know, something happens, and there is these little catalytic things that happen in life where you realize who your people are and aren't. And I've been through many of them over the years, or at least quite a few of them. Enough of them to know that's a thing. Does this go this way? Yeah. And then this one goes here, and then the red one goes over that. That is the strangest backpack design for reals. It's kind of cool looking though. It suits it. I really do like the design of this kit. It's almost like, it reminds me of like if you took a Zaku, a Dom, and a Gyaradoga and smashed them into one kit, you'd get this. You know, Wolfpack, I'll be real with you. I don't remember if I streamed once or twice earlier this week, but it's actually these streams that have kind of kept me going. There's been a couple nights where I just simply didn't have the time with my work schedule, but I wanted to. You know, I didn't want to get into it because I knew I had to go to bed early, but I probably should have. You know, but this little bit of interaction that I get with some of you guys, I just picked up a lot of dog hair off the floor. Gross. Has actually kind of been really uplifting for me. Best way I could say it. Not kinda. It actually has been really uplifting for me. Like Ricardo was in my last stream, man, and you know, I was kind of bummed when I started the stream, and by the end of the stream, you know, I felt good about life. So I thank you guys for that. I really mean that. I'm all ooey gooey and sentimental. I really am kind of a sentimental fool, though. I hate to say it. Part of my personality. I think that's what I love about Gundam. It's very serious, dude. I need to get this thing on his back so these thrusters quit falling off. Alright, here we go. Backpack. Let's get the karma hair off of there. It's a pretty dope profile. I always thought this was going to point more down. Oh, well, I guess that's about as down as it goes. That's it. It's weird, you'd have thought it had bigger verniers. I feel like the verniers were bigger in the anime. I know there's like a position these are supposed to be in so that it can like glide. I'm not sure what they are though. I bet you it'll tell me in the directions. Oh, and they just fell off again. For crying out loud. Oh, dude, I fixed one to break the other. This is why we can't have nice things. But yeah, strangely, these streams have they've kind of been the highlight of my week. I kind of wish I would have had the time to do a few more, to be honest. There we go. High grade Messer F02 in the house, representing the Mafty. Dude, it really is a good looking kit. It's very simple, very base. You know, there's no, no articulated fingers. It doesn't have an inner frame. It's got some decent posability. How are the legs? Can it kneel? Not going to kneel without breaking the skirts off. We've established that. Skirts are a little fragile. I think that's a thing with high grades, though. Like, that's the part on my GP02 and the Wing Gundam that don't stay on. Same here. I wish I would stick to creating more some people but worth it. I'm not sure I interpreted that right. I wish I could stick to creating more. Some people but worth it. Creating more with other people? Is that what you mean? My grandmother passed away today, so I feel not the best. Oh, bro, dude. I'm sorry. I hope your grandmother's in a better place, man. I'm sure she is. And I'm sorry for your loss. Wow. That's heavy. Strange. This song, being kind of sad, happened to come on simultaneously. Wolfpack, in honor of your grandma, I'm not saying anything until this song's over. We're just going to have a moment of silence. Well, Wolfpack, my regards to you and your family. I hope that track was a decent one for that moment. I'm an old guy, homie. I don't know if you guys realize that. I actually am. I'm pushing 50. I'm as old as the Gundam franchise itself. And kind of seen and done quite a bit in this short ass life of mine. And I'm a firm believer that life's too short to be unhappy. And we all have people somewhere. And that life is very much dictated by your frame of mind. I'm 38 now. Everybody says that is old. Well, the funny thing is when I was 38, I was kind of feeling like I was old. And yeah, now it's like, you know, a decade later and I still feel old. Life is very short, Wolfpack, and that's kind of what I was saying, is it feels like everything takes so long, and then all of a sudden you've blinked and it's almost over. You're over the halfway mark. It's very much how I feel. Some might say that my love of Gundam is some kind of midlife crisis even. Although it's been like almost a decade in the making for me, so I don't think that's the case. But yeah, man, I hope things get better, and try to stay positive. I went through a lot of shit when I was younger, and I would kind of fuel, I don't want to say fuel the negativity, but I would feed off of it, and it would just make me very driven, and I'd push and push and push and push and push, and I just, you know, you can't ever give up. But then there is something that comes from the wisdom of, I don't know, I guess I could say knowing what to put your energy into. And I've found more recently, in more recent years, I lost my father shortly after COVID, and that was a hard time for a couple of years there. There was a moment I've read my comments on YouTube and I was like, oh damn, I was an angry person. And I kind of scrubbed all those because they were just negative. I didn't want them being out there in the ether, you know? It was too much dark energy, I guess, like a better way of saying it. And I kind of think in a weird way, we all are kind of somehow a little, I don't know, new type-ish. We're a bunch of chemical energy, and what we put our thoughts and things into, it tends to manifest. I really believe that. More so has been proven to me of late, honestly. I think we in a weird way we predispose our path with what we're focusing on. And I guess what I'm trying to say is try to focus on positive things, man. It's hard to do. Especially when you got shit coming at you from all sides. And I've been there. Kind of feel like I'm a little bit there right now, but I'm warding it off. It's not happening. I have my community, I have my channel, I have my health, I got my 2 dogs. You know, I've lost a lot of things over the years, but I'm lost the wife, but I still have a daughter that I raised that loves me. I still have a handful of friends that, though I don't get to see them, I know they love and care about me. Much respect, brother. I'm glad we're not just like watching some baseball game on loop or something, and we're here online connecting with real people. It's strange, but yeah, I kind of feel ya. I do kind of think that there's a little bit of a unawareness kind of growing with different communities online, and there's good and there's bad, and I'm trying to keep this all good. And I feel like people that come to this channel and hang out, and some of the channels I'm following is all leading to good things. I like to think that. I mean, but I know the internet's also chock full of it's bullshit. Lack of a better way of putting it. But I'm glad you guys are here. You know, I love the community. I really appreciate how Gundam has kind of spat out some family things. I don't know if you've watched that Boy and His Gundam video, but it almost kind of brought a tear to my eye in a weird way. My baby mama was pure evil. I hope one day to be blessed with a good woman. They're out there, Wolfpack. They're few and far between these days. But I feel bad for modern women. I think they've been tricked. I really do. Somewhere along the way, and I think it started really going into full force with my generation and my age group. I remember a stark moment in, well, I'll call it 1986. Oh, we're going to go down a rabbit hole. Not good. I've been down a lot of rabbit holes, guys. Don't get me started. But we'll call it 1986, okay? I'm growing up. I'm a young lad. Life is good. I got my Transformers. I got my G.I. Joe. I got sitcoms on TV. Everything is prosperous. Everybody loves Reagan. I don't think they call in Cali anymore. They on this evil wave. Well, it's because they've been brainwashed, bro. I mean, they really have. And here's how. Again, going back to 1986, you know, if you turned on the TV, you would have these good, wholesome, kind of like family shows. You know, you had, oh gosh, you know, I mean, I know Bill Cosby had his shit, but the Cosby shows was the Cosby Show, that was a good, wholesome family show. There was that. There was, you know, even like Archie Bunker. He was still all about his family. He was still a dad. You know, it was okay to be a dad. And then 1986, 1987 came along. And music did the same thing. We had, you know, hip hop, which was mostly like all about dance beats or kind of love tracks, you know, talking about the girl you're trying to get. And then overnight, it was like it all shifted. It turned into Married with Children and Full House. You know, you got three dudes raising that aren't, you know, no mom in the house, three dysfunctional guys raising a squad of girls. You know, that type of thing. One's a philanderer, the other's a quote unquote comedian, and well, we all know Bob Saget. But you know, Cheers was another one that it was like, you know, let's make a show around everybody just getting hammered, being drunks. You know, it was a funny show. Ran for many, many years. Married with Children. Loved that show. Was iconic for me as a kid. But fact of the matter is it taught my generation growing up that our fathers were laughable, bumbling idiots and not to be respected. And then, you know, you got The Simpsons. There's another one. You know, and it was just one after the other. And it went that way. And music went the same way. It went from rock and roll and like, you know, the glam rock of the 80s and the late 90s. And then, you know, the 90s came along and it shifted to grunge rock. And I don't think any of it was an accident. Living single was so dope. Well, I did that for many, many years. I had a really serious relationship when I was younger. And then when that dissolved, I kind of had to figure out how to live by myself in the middle of nowhere with no car, no license, next to where I worked and clocked in. And I lived there for like 7 years, man. And it was very lonely at times. I spent a lot of Christmases by myself. But there's something to be said for that Henry David Thoreau moment of, you know, your personal Walden. And I don't know if you get the reference or not, but you can look it up. It was a book he wrote after he went out into the woods and just made himself deal with himself for a minute. Call it shadow work. But, you know, yeah, there's something to be said for, and that's another thing that people really don't do is we tend to grow up and we don't get that moment where we learn to be ourselves with ourselves and learn how to deal with yourself. There's a moment of silence that comes with living alone that you kind of have to learn to be comfortable with. And I think learning to be comfortable with that is a almost transcendental experience. Wow, that got deep. I went from building Gunpla to going down the rabbit hole. I hope you don't mind, Wolfpack. I mean well with my words. Or anybody else that may be lingering in chat. I think people have gotten disconnected from what it means to be human. To a degree. And it's kind of scary. Life. Yeah. Well, it is a game. Wolfpack, do you know who Chase Hughes is? It is respect, bro. Absolutely. People will watch what one day? My little rant? I don't know that I said anything terribly profound. Although, it'd be cool if they would. I do a lot of deep thinking. I don't mention a lot of it on stream. I very much considered doing a channel of kind of like, you know, throwing out my thoughts on life, the universe, and everything, so to speak. I know there's a lot of angry people out there. There's a lot of lonely people out there. There's a lot of desperate people out there. It's hard to live now. I feel really like I've struggled so much in my life as, I guess you could say, I'm a Xennial. And, you know, I'm that cusp where I'm not a millennial and I'm not really a Gen Xer. I'm kind of that unique in between those two, where I sort of had the best of both worlds, but then also had not quite as many of the benefits of both worlds. And what's the best way to say this? I feel like the world's gotten very disconnected from itself, and we've all been tricked. I think there's been I don't want to say a sinister underlining, like they, quote unquote, is behind it or anything like that, but I think just happenstantially, you know, the human race has kind of escalated to this point of calamity. But I thought about a channel talking about my thoughts on modern life, but I chose to run with the Gunpla thing first for two reasons. One, if I can make a Gunpla channel and have a moderate amount of success, given such a small niche that it is, then, you know, maybe I'm not an imposter content creator. The other reason I chose it is I just think there's so much dark energy in the world right now that I wanted to do something positive. I wanted it to be fun. I want people to come to this channel for the good vibes. Although every now and again we are going to have our serious moments, because I have a hard time not caring about humanity and what's going on in the world. You know, the new HG Messer kit, the back skirt looked like Zosabi. Well, that's, I think, maybe what okay, so the Zosabi is actually one of my favorite kit designs. And thank you Puya Zaza. Did I say that right? Or is it Ooey Zaza? Is it Pooey or Ooey? Is that a P? Or is that a little symbol? I don't know. Ooey Zaza? I think I'm saying it right. And welcome to the room. Wolfpack and I were just discovering the heaviness of life. But being as that the Messer is a heavy kit, we can kind of talk about it. But yes, it does look very much like the Zasabi. And I think that's what I like about the design. Truthfully, like it kind of evolved maybe from the Zasabi a little bit. Which obviously has evolved a little bit from the Gyaradoga. You know the Messer one with the long chest part. Is there one with a different chest? I know there's one that's purple. This is the F02, by the way. I do like the design, though. It's funny, I wasn't really planning on snap building this, but it just kind of called to me as like, I should build this next. And I really, really do like the design. And it's actually quite posable. My only complaint, I'm not happy with the way the skirts actually attach. But it's a high grade, and I build a lot of master grades. So, you know, I'm not used to that. I'm used to there being like a few more parts where it's just more movable. The new one in the Hathaway movie. Oh, I didn't notice that. I thought the only difference between those ones was the new one in the Hathaway movie had like battle damaged parts. I'll have to check into that. I will definitely have to look into that. I do like that they actually did a little detailing on the back of the skirts, though. That's something you don't see in a lot of the older high grades. So, hats off on that. My thoughts on the mass production new, I'd like to get my hands on one. I'd like for Wolfpack to get his hands on one, too. I think I'd like to pick up the Alizeus. I have the Penelope in the backlog, and I almost built it instead of the Messer. I considered it. Uh-oh. Did my ham cam freeze? I think it did. Stand by while I turn off the ham cam. I think it got warm. I should turn the fan on. I forget this. I'm using an old Fuji XT2 for my hand cam. My ham cam. And I forgot to turn the fan on, so it's getting warm. Yeah, it's working again. But yeah, I kind of want to get my hands on the mass production new, which if I can get my hands on an Alizeus, would be getting my hands on the mass production new. It'd be win-win all the way around. That's a big kit, though. I mean, and that's... I'm really curious about that kit, because I think that's the most expensive high grade that Bandai's ever done. I could be wrong about that. Maybe the Zeong, perhaps. But it looks cool enough that I'm willing to pay it. I don't have it right now. You know, if you compare the Alizeus armor to the narrative Gundam, and my thought would be, why do I feel like the Alizeus armor is for the narrative Gundam? You know, and that would almost make more sense. I don't know that it could be, though. And only because aren't the suits in Unicorn supposedly kind of supposed to be like an alternate timeline to the original canon of Char's counterattack? I could be wrong about that. And I know that it starts mixing and matching between the manga and the animations. But I always thought that, like, technically Unicorn is not... And Narrative being the sequel to Unicorn. But you might be onto a cool kit bash there. That might be something. I wonder if I could get my hands on the Verkaw Narrative Gundam and make the Alizeus armor attached to it. That might be a really cool kit bash. It'd be a $300 kit bash, though. Just saying. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I bumped the ham camera. The ham. From now on, we are calling... my camera is now officially dubbed Ham Cam. Because I keep using the word ham when I'm trying to say hand. So it's now officially the Ham Cam. Let it be so. The Dynamodel has spoken. Wolfpack, are you still with us, buddy? Wolfpack needs an Ollie Zeus. Wolfpack, if I had one, I would send it to you. Maybe I ought to figure out how to send you my Penelope. That'd keep you busy for a minute. And then it'd be your Penelope. Like, compare the narrative Gundam with no armor on to the Ollie Zeus. Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Oh, I killed the music too? No, I didn't. It's just really quiet. Well, I'm glad you're still here, bro. Drawing on your iPad. Nice. Hey, you know, if you ever feel like do you do your own artwork for your channel, Wolfpack? Like, you could basically see narrative expo joint and compare the Ollie Zeus attachment part, like Ollie Zeus chest would completely cover up the core fighter of the narrative Gundam. Yeah, well, because isn't the narrative like it's lacking armor in places so that they could expose the psycho frame, I guess? Isn't that... I feel like I read that somewhere about the narrative. Ah, very nice, Wolfpack. Always friendly. I love that about you. All right. Messer needs weapons. Let's get on with this shield. You do make some of it. Because I've watched a couple of your little shorts, dude, that were just dope. And I mean that. I was like, I wonder if he made this, or did he you know, do you use any AI? Just curious. I wouldn't fault you for it. I actually had somebody the other day ask me if I make my own thumbnails or if I use AI to do it. And I will confess, if you look at all of my live streams, I got lazy one day and I ran out of time. So I let AI make one of my thumbnails, but it's only one. And I challenge you to find which one it is. All the other thumbnails I've made myself. Just saying. And I do that out of respect for creators, to be honest. Like, I could totally... I got no issue so much with the AI because it's, you know, time is money. But out of respect for other creators in the realm, and I know a lot of them are artists, and I might too like to create. That's part of the fun of it. I almost feel like I'm cheating if I use AI. Have you ever watched G-Quux? I have. So G-Quux was an interesting one. Like, first couple episodes, so I'm like a UC purist. I mean, I've watched Seed, I've watched IBO, I've watched at least the first season of 00. My first build was a 00 kit. But I really do love the Universal Century. I mean, that's kind of my go-to. I love Gundam as a whole. And I know everybody's got their, you know, some people are Seed people, some people love Wing. But I myself just happen to be a Universal Century guy. And so I eat your thumbnail, sorry. Yeah, my thumbnails aren't the greatest. But I did have somebody ask me if well, this thumbnail was a quick throw together. There's others that I put more time into. It depends on what I'm doing. And I'm not great at it. I just like to do it. I used AI before, but yes, I don't rely on it. I do experiment with it, but not a huge fan of it. Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. Like, it's a good tool, but I don't want to become dependent on it. And I think that's a good line to draw. I feel like. But yeah, G-Quux was first couple episodes I was kind of like, I don't know about this. But by the time I got to like the third or fourth episode, I kind of really enjoyed it. And by the end of it, I was like, you know, for what it is, it was really good. You know, and then I kind of went down the rabbit hole of researching, like, you know, how and why they produced it and all that. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be more of a love letter to the Universal Century, and I think if that is the case, it did a great job of it. And I like the suit designs. The GM cannon in that is just that's hands down on my list of kits I'd like to get my hands on. The G-Quux is cool, but I really did like the GM cannon in it. The one Sayla had. Not sure if I'm calling it the right name of that suit though. The Dom was a little, I don't understand the third leg. Just didn't get it. The G-Quux was pretty cool, and the Red Gundam's dope. I thought the Red Gundam was pretty dope. What if the data for the RX-78-1 was lost and the Federation only have captured the Zaku 2 data so they could combine the gun cannon data to make Hyzak cannon and in G-Quux? So like an alternate to G-Quux? Did I follow that right? Let me read that again. What if the data for the RX-78-1 was lost and the Federation only have the captured the Zaku 2 data so they could combine it with the gun cannon data to make the Hyzak cannon in G-Quux? Did that happen? I'm confused. Or are you just saying, like, what if it went that way instead? Because that would make a pretty cool story too, if that's the case. But like I don't know. G-Quux was almost like a Philip K. Dick take on Gundam. Like, Char stole the Gundam. That's what happened. And this is where we are now. Although I do kind of think that if Char had actually had a chance to steal the Gundam, it probably would have went similar to that. But yeah, G-Quux was good. It a what if for G-Quux. Yeah, well, and I think that's kind of what G-Quux is. It's a big what if. You might be onto something there, Zaza. They could almost do a follow-up to it and make another alternate timeline where the Feddies did get a hold of the Zaku. Because I mean, really, it was first. Which, I don't know if you've ever built the Zaku 2 Master Grade 2.0. One of my favorite kits. I actually have 3 of them in the backlog. Well, one of them's built. I have 2. Not counting the Psycho Zaku. So I guess 3. But it is absolutely one of my favorite kits. Very, very fun to build. It's funny, I've heard people go, oh, we'll never get a 3.0. I don't know if we need a 3.0. Hey, have you ever read what I say about Dom? What did you say about the Dom? Oh, the Dom 3 legs are peak. You can turn the torso and flip the 3rd leg up. Oh. No, I didn't know that. I need to get my hands on a G-Quux kit. I did actually pick up one of the Gundam Ensemble G-Quux the other day. Well, I didn't pick it up. My neighbor gave it to me. He kind of felt like I needed a new bachelor housewarming gift, so he entrusted me with a G-Quux. And he wanted to tell me where the new little store where it was to get it. Matter of fact, where is my G-Quux? Right here. Little G-Quux. He's cute. It's funny, I actually have about 20 of these little things. The HG gun cannon's pretty good. Isn't there a real grade gun cannon too? I have a master grade gun cannon. And it was a pretty fun build. I've actually built it. That's another one that I've even drawn panel lines on it with a Sharpie, trying to decide if I wanted to actually scribe them or not. You know, I'd draw some on there and then I'd take it off with alcohol. Couldn't make up my mind if I really wanted to embark on that, because it's like once you do it, you're committed. But the master grade gun cannon's like a great canvas, but I think the high grades actually got more detail to it. There is no RG gun cannon. I didn't know if there was or not. I know there's the high grade, and one of them looks better than the master grade, so that must be the high grade, because the master grade just needs an update. It's very undetailed, and I think is there one for Origin? No. But even the arms on I think the high grade look better than the master grade. It just has more panels to it. Okay, Zaza. I totally forgot what we were doing, Wolfpack and chat. Where was I with stuff? All right. You know what? A messer is not a messer without a big ass beam rifle. Wouldn't you agree? This song is so Beverly Hills Cop. That's my bad Eddie Murphy impression. You know, it could be Golden Child. Has anybody ever seen that movie? That's actually a great movie. I should go watch that tonight. I forgot about that movie. Has anybody ever seen that? The Golden Child? I wish I could get away with watching movies in chat. I think I'm going to put this together and then file the nubs. I think it will eliminate some filing. Is there a trigger or anything that goes in this? That would be the first time if there's not. Nope, just the cartridge afterward. Okay. You better not be tricking me, directions. Well, that was kind of a shift from a very serious moment. Zaza! Hey, have you ever watched a video? I heard it too. I don't know if I've watched that video. Is that the title of the video? Is I heard it too? If so, I would have to say no. I don't think I have. Although I do, there are days where I will watch 50 videos and not realize that I have. I may not watch all of them though. So you know, guys, know what I've discovered? Some of these places that I can't get the glass files in, my incredibly hard carpenter thumbnails make a pretty decent file for some of those hard to reach places. That's right. You guys come here for excellent poor people Gundam build tips. Watch it. It's a good horror. I'll have to check it out. I'm actually finding myself having to figure out different ways of occupying my time that seem relaxing and constructive. So I'll check it out. I'm not necessarily into a lot of horror stuff, but every now and again you find some nice gems that I can get into. I don't like the demon stuff. I use micro-size glass files. Yeah, I recently discovered that was a thing, and I'd like to get my hands on a couple. There was one that someone was using the other day that was kind of like wedge shape. And that would be, there's so many parts that I did, especially like on the Dominator, where that would have just made life so much easier than trying to figure out how to work one of these in that area. Really would have. Wolfpack, do you have my Discord? It's same name as the channel. And depending on how you search, maybe all lowercase or the two words may still be one word, but the letters in the instance of DM may be capitalized. If you have Discord, reach out to me on there. We should maybe rap in the background a little. Or maybe I'll go see what you have to get it. Maybe get in touch with you from your channel. If that's okay. I think you need a kit, my friend. I think the Dynamodel needs to figure out how to send you a kit. Give you something to smile about. Take your mind off the woes of life. B1, 24, and 25. Do you build a lot, Zaza? And just out of curiosity, if you have you built a lot of kits, and what's your favorite kit of what you've built? This is kit number, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is kit number 8 over the course of about 30 years. I'm counting the first two, but I didn't know what Gundam was then. So I don't know if I should count those. I'm actually relatively new to the hobby. I've known about Gundam my whole life, but I fell hard for it in 2018, I tell you. I was always well, I'll say Robotech, but I'm sure somebody's going to be like, you mean Macross? Harmony Gold stole it. And yes, they did. Though they did a good job with what they stole, they still stole it. Kind of. I mean, I guess they paid for it, but they didn't have to sue everybody into oblivion. I'm just saying. See right there. This is where, like, one of those microfiles, this little part right here, because there's a detail here and here. Like, that was a terrible spot to put a gate. Like, what do you do with that? You can get a knife in here and kind of scrape. Ah, I can't hold the part. I feel like if I can get just a little bit more right here without taking too much, I might actually get this to go away. It's funny, I'm not watching what I'm doing in my hand, I'm watching it on the camera. It's so weird sometimes. All right, where does this go? That goes there. Oh. Okay, this goes here. Oh, it's not the energy pack, it's the scope. I'm such a dingbat sometimes. Alright, let's pull his paw off. Put his gun on. I love how Dispia made this thing like a little switchblade. Does anybody else do that when like you're going to part separate and you're like... Sorry for the sound effects. I like onomatopoeias. Oh no. Don't throw the parts. But yeah, I do that every time I break this thing out. Like I'm just doing something so cool. I'm like, oh, yeah. They did a good job with making it do that. They made this tool fun to use. All right, now we got beam rifle. It is actually kind of a cool beam rifle design. That scene in the movie when it falls and sticks into the ground, I thought that was one of the coolest scenes ever. That was actually, that little battle scene as they're running through the city was some of, I think, the most realistic looking animation as to what that would actually be like. Like, that's the first time you see someone, like, affected by this shockwave from a beam rifle in Gundam that I could think of. Maybe there's other scenes that I'm not thinking of from other animations, but the way they did that in Hathaway, as everybody's fleeing through the resort area there, it did a good picture of depicting how horrifying a giant mech would be. Zaza, where do you get microglass files? Like, who makes them? I'm so, like, off topic and all over the map tonight. I apologize, you guys. My ADD is, like, firing on overtime this week. Between lack of sleep and just kind of feeling a little overly stimulated. And lack of human contact. I'm in a weird bit of sorts, I guess. What can I say? So the shield's actually only 2 parts. Man, that's kind of... Again, another blank canvas for customization. Like, dude, why is there no barrels in the gun tubes? Like, these are Gatling guns. They should have some barrels there. I'm gonna have to fix that. This cannot stay this way. Oh, I wish Pinner was here. Not only is this getting a paint job, but I feel like this kit is going to be like my first attempt at like real customization. And it may take me a minute. I don't know if I'm going to do it live or I'm going to do it as a video yet. I'm undecided on that note, but I think this Messer F02 might be my first attempt at like some serious panel upgrades, some details. Like legit ones, you know? Not just buying some metal etched parts, but like taking some runners and doing some stuff. I don't know if I'm going to make that one go away. Might help if I cleaned the file, I suppose. You know, the other thing I got to do is I need to still attempt to whip up a batch of sprue glue. And thus far, I've attempted this 3 times, and every time I just can't seem to get the runners to melt. But guy at the Hobby Star told me to use Tamiya, and I wasn't using Tamiya. So there was that. I was using Deluxe Plastic Magic, and that stuff will not melt sprue glue into sprue glue. You know, and the other thing I didn't have is now I got a bunch of empty paint bottles left over from the bear. Like 9 of them to be exact, so. Maybe I might have to get the old cheese grater out and grate up some plastic real quick. So just out of curiosity, if I were to start painting the armor on the Dominator, would you guys rather me paint it and just film it for video? Or should I stream it? Like, do you guys like the painting streams? I feel like it's like watching a goldfish swim and only entertaining for so long. So I've been kind of staying clear of them, but I've been kind of curious. Alright, what is this? What am I looking at here? Oh, that's not for this. D21, yeah it is. That was the right part. D1, 21. Yeah, that's this part, isn't it? I swear it was. Yeah, that came out of there. Stream, but whatever is easiest for you. It's all easy. To be honest, Wolfpack. I have an extra part here. Oh, that's for the other head. The only thing about painting, like when I'm airbrushing, you know, because I did not all of the bear, but some of the bear on stream. And there's a point where I fall into this flow state and I forget I'm even streaming. I forget you guys are here. I forget anybody's watching me. I'm just painting. And in that instance, I feel like I'm, I don't know, kind of being a jerk. Like, oh, Gray Baths. Grady Bath? Grady Bath? Did I say that right? Hello and welcome to the room. I'm sorry, I thought Wolfpack said that. I read that wrong. I'm kind of an airhead today, so bear with me, guys. It's been a long week. This is honestly the most fun I've had in a minute, though. I'll say that. So thanks for that, guys. Like, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, because I actually am, like, thoroughly kind of enjoying myself in my messy loss of runners here. Where C1 and C2? So here's C2, 11. Oh, there it is. Boy, that was hard to see. I'm like staring at this thinking I lost it. Gray Death. Ah. Oh, I see it now. Boy, don't I feel silly. Now I totally see Gray Death. It's just the E is backwards. I like that. I like the way you did that. Yeah, painting's easy to do on live stream. I just feel like I'm neglecting chat because, like I said, I kind of fall into that flow state and sort of just forget I'm not the only person in the room, like in the instance of you guys watching. So these go in here? Are these the beam sabers? They'd have to be. So he keeps the beam sabers in the shield. Or you can stow it. Is there 3 of them or 2 of them? So you can stow it up here too? Am I seeing this right? Oh. Oh no. Here we go. Pulling spikes off. Oh, that's upside down. Don't do that. Okay. Now, where did that beam saber handle? I have dropped a part. Go figure. Oh no. Where did it go? I heard it hit the ground. You guys, I'll be back. I'm floating around in the abyss of my floor. Oh, there it is. I'm all looking for Gunpla parts on the floor like a scene out of that movie Rush. I don't get it. Oh, I guess it goes this way? No. It's not how it goes. Why are they showing me this goes? They really are showing this like tucked up under the armor here. Although they did pop it off to do it. He's just kind of in the... That's almost a cool pose. I didn't mean to do that, but that's almost a cool looking little lean back a little bit. Getting ready to bring that rifle up. I do like the design of this kit. And it does... Maybe that's what I do like about it, is it really does have kind of a Zosaby feel to it. Oh, so it goes like that. So he can stow a beam saber in his shoulder. That's an interesting one. I have yet to see a mobile suit do that. I think I like it better in the shield. I'm going to put it down in the shield. I just feel like I'm going to drop it and lose it. Now, here I go where I'm fumbling with the stupid kid. Come here. Why do I do this to myself? There. I almost want to paint it just to stiffen him up a little bit. Alright, let's get his shield on. Quit horsing around. This goes like this. I think is how they're showing it. And clips in, right? Oh, drop the beam saber. I'm so glad this isn't painted yet. I'd be like having such anxiety right now for as many times as I've dropped this and broken a part off of it. Like, it's funny, even the bear, I have not touched the bear since I set it down on top of my little TV thing the other day. Like, it's just been sitting there in the room as I kind of stare at it. I can't decide on what color to actually do the panel lining. That's another reason I'm sort of dragging my feet with the bear. So there we go. Messer with shield. And here we go, everybody. Now we have completed the high-grade Messer. You know, let's give him a beam saber in the other hand, huh? I don't see any reason not to. He can wield a beam saber left-handed, can he? We can dual fist. We can dual wield. I don't see why not. I never saw any rules that said there's no dual wielding. I'll drop the camera here in a second after I do this. Give you guys more of a straight-on look. But you have to promise not to make fun of my messy build desk. It's been a minute since I generally don't clean. I kind of clean like after every build, but I don't clean up much until I'm done with the build unless I just do something where it gets really messy. And that's just in case there's parts lurking about. I don't want to like sweep them up and throw them away. So the desk is a little cluttered. It's not terrible, just a little. There we go. Let me put them in a decent pose. Something that says you're about to get pummeled. There. I think we've built a messer. A little more lean on the toe. A little more knee bend. Gundam posing 101. Little more down with that arm. A little more at the ready with the beam rifle. There we go. Now he's looking tough. Now he's looking tough. All right. Allow me. All right. Bear with me. I'm actually going to hide the camera as I drop it down. Just that way if something bad happens, I don't feel so silly. Pink. Dropping camera. Woo! Good montage track to finally unveil a mobile suit, huh? Oh, this thing needs to be tightened again. Let me fix that. A little lower. Can I zoom out? Yeah. All right. Oh, let's focus. There we go. The high-grade Messer F02. It really is a good-looking kit. I have to say, I didn't think I'd be so fond of it, but design-wise, man, it's a cool-looking kit. And it didn't take long to build. I think collectively through these 3 streams, and as I'm streaming when I build, I don't build fast by any stretch of the imagination. It's very fumbly, in fact. But you'll have to forgive the avatar. It's because I have the camera in front of my face at the moment. But I think this took like maybe like 4 hours with the stream, 6 hours with the stream. So, you know, if you were trying to just build this quick, probably do it in 3. It's not a huge amount of parts. There's really no extra parts. There's a couple alternates. You got extra hands. And it does come with the regular head. This is the commander type head, which was the whole purpose of buying this kit. I think other than the reverse colors in the shields, there's really not much difference between this and the F01. And then there's the purple one, and that's really what I want to get my hands on, but it's hard to find. It's pricey if you can find it. But I like the high-grade Messer. My only complaints really are that, like, the skirts don't have a lot of posability to them. It kind of prevents you from doing much with the legs. But then again, I like to paint my kits, and I'm not one to really mess with them afterward. You know, Dynamis is set on the shelf for a good 1.5 years now, and I haven't touched it. Every now and again, I'll go turn the switch on and turn the LEDs on. That's about it. I don't touch that kit at all. But it's a resin kit too, so it's fragile. But yeah, totally dope looking kit. We're gonna use the very primitive turnstile method tonight. I have a turnstile, but I'm not getting it out for this. I'm sorry. We're limited production here. I do like the beam saber. The yellowish green isn't something you see a lot of. There are some details to the back of the shield, so that's pretty cool. Oh, out of focus again. Hold on. Allow me to focus. So it's got some cool details. This is where it stows the beam sabers. That's one of them right there. They just clip in. Hooks on the little peg at the back of the arm right here. Just clips in like that. What is this other... Did I miss something? Why does it have another nub? What is the second nub for? Oh. So he could just stow it like that. That's what the second nub is for. Ooh. Ooh. That's interesting. I didn't really... So, yeah, definitely gonna have some, like that just fell right out. I didn't put any pressure on that. That was just the weight of the shield. Painting that would fix that. It would stiffen it up just that little bit. And I wasn't really planning on painting this kit, but I think as I've built it, I've decided that it needs a paint job. Like, it's a cool enough kit and simple enough that I think I could put a pretty nice paint job on this and really make it look like something. I really do think I'm going to cut holes in these back skirts and put some mesh in there. You've seen other people do it with like the Zosabe and the Gyaradoga, I think, here and there. Bears a little resemblance to the Yakdoga too. It's kind of somewhere in between all of it. And it makes sense, a natural progression of like the Xeon type mobile suits for the timeline, I guess. It's big for a high grade. Comparatively. Let's see here. This is actually the only other high grade of the UC timeline that I have. I have a Wing Gundam, but I'm not even touching it. So that would be its size as compared to what is already a tiny Gundam to begin with, the GP03. This GP03 actually is the reason it doesn't have his V antenna and things. This was my first build. I built this when I lived in my trailer by myself. In fact, he's so dusty. This is like original dust. I actually thought about cleaning it up, but I just chose to leave it on. You can tell where I experimented when I first got my airbrush before I started painting Dynamiz. I kind of painted his shoulder armor and stuff, just playing with how does an airbrush work. But yeah, that would be actual size to scale. The Messer's arm just literally did the same thing, dude. I touched the shoulder and it just fell out. This was actually like one of the coolest Saturdays. Building this was one of the coolest Saturdays I had, though. It really was. I was very bored. You know, didn't have a lot that I could do. And kind of lived in the middle of nowhere, didn't have a car. I was just stuck. I was just stuck in the little home that I lived in. And I picked this up at what they called Hastings. It's like a consignment bookstore. And I knew nothing about Gundam. I just thought it was a cool mech design. This was actually a really, really fun build for me. And then once I got done building it, I was like, I didn't know what panel lining was at the time. Or even the concept, but I was like, oh, there's all these lines on it. And I'm looking at the box art and I'm looking at this. I'm like, but the lines are white. That's why it looks so much different on the box. So I took a Sharpie and I did all this panel lining with a Sharpie. And then I think I cleaned it up with rubbing alcohol, if I remember right. It was a long time ago. I did this in like 2000. 2002, 2003. I actually love the GP03 though. I'd like to get my hands on a master grade of it. What I'd really like to get is that third-party Dendrobium. I think it was done by the same guys that did the Solomon GP02. But finding that Dendrobium is kind of hard now. I don't think they make it anymore. If you find one, it's someone's backlog kit, probably. And even then, when it was released, it was like $600-700. And I just... Oh, that's a hefty price tag on a Gundam. But, yeah. That would be scale. Like, the Messer would just eat the GP03 for breakfast, I think. Alright, I'm going to put this GP03 back because he's, like, almost 22 years old now. And I'm just afraid I'm going to break him. And he's kind of sentimental to me, to be honest. Like, if I have one... If I have one kit forever... Like, the two kits I would probably never, ever get rid of would be that GP03 and probably my Dynamez. I'm even actually thinking about giving the bear away. Had my daughter not told me that she kind of wants it, I was probably going to create some kind of contest for you guys and let somebody win it. Although, given the circumstances, that could turn it into one of those weird sort of cursed internet artifacts, so maybe that's a bad idea. I painted it for someone I love, so I guess I'll give it to the kid. I love her. But yeah, time is it? It's 10:32. On that note, I think I'm going to at least take a little break for now. I'd like to get some food in me. And I need to go give my dog some attention. I went to work today, and I came home, and I fell asleep for a minute. I didn't mean to. Just kind of passed out on the couch, doom scrolling. And then, you know, I got up and I fed the dogs, but I need to take them for a walk. They've been cooped up all day. They're not used to it just being me. Man, that is a good looking kit. I'm just looking at it on screen thinking, I really do like that design. I think it deserves more. I think we're going to add some details to it. Maybe we'll be doing some upcoming scribing streams. We'll see. I might come back here after taking the dogs for a walk and getting a little food in my belly, though. Maybe we'll play some video games. Kind of thinking about maybe doing a playthrough of AC6. And there's always playing GBO2. Which for some reason nobody likes that game, but I still do. I don't know why. I know they're just trying to get me to buy tokens. I know this. And I know by playing it, I'm making them never want to put out GBO3. I really am excited about this new Gundam game. You know, let's maybe watch that trailer. Maybe we'll end the stream on that. Let me see if I can pull that up. Let's see here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Bear with me. I don't know if you guys can hear me type, but I type like a boomer. That was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I can't type, though. I really don't. That's actually one of the things I do use AI for. I basically tell it what I want it to say in my descriptions, but I let it do all the typing. And then I very carefully read it, because they like to trick me. And then I say, fix this and fix this. And I didn't tell you to say this. I want to say this. And I wouldn't say that. Take that out of there. What was that called? Rogue Orbit. Not Rogue. Rogue. I'm really curious to see what the the synopsis of this game is. Like, what is the plot? All right, bear with me 1 second. Let me make sure I can do this right. This is something I haven't tried yet on stream, so I may screw this up, guys. Easy enough. It's not hard to do at all. All right. Hold on. What am I looking at? That window's too big, though. I have to fix that. Oh, yeah. Gotta shrink this. Why is it such a funny size? That doesn't make any sense. Sorry guys, I thought this was cropped properly. It's a high quality production we run here. I will fire the design team, I promise. Ah, there we go. Okay, now we can hit play. Let's check this trailer out, huh? This is actually the second time I've seen it, to be honest. Let me kill this. So I want to hear what this lady says.
On Earth, mankind measured time by seasons, not sirens. For a moment, the future felt promising.
I really like the graphics. I should probably make this a little smaller. Oh, what did I do? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I muted it. I didn't mean to. Let me pause. We'll start over. Bear with me. That's not what I want. Why are you moving the avatar? There. That's better. Let's try this again. Okay. Now we can watch it. I'll have to work on that. I'll try to do better. Back to the beginning. Here we go.
On Earth, mankind measured time by seasons, not sirens.
Like, look at the light on those sunflowers.
For a moment, the future felt promising.
Incredible.
They're inside! They're inside!
Out here, that promise is a lie.
So, like, it's weird because I don't know if it's aliens. You know, I like how they did the hair. That's one thing that it seems like in every CGI type 3D animation they do, the hair is always, you know, like Lego hair. But that was the first thing I noticed. It kind of looks a little bit like the Requiem for Vengeance hair. Now, I will say there's a bit of like a weird, almost kind of like Michael Bay-ish feel to it. This might be a really cool model kit, though. I wonder if we're going to get a kit for this. And on that note, I wonder if they'll actually do a master grade, or if it's just all going to be high grades and whatnot.
It remembers.
And if they do any kits for it, are we going to get kits for like this giant beast thing? It's going to be a massive kit. Look at this gameplay though. Like, this game does look really cool. And I wonder if it may lead, like I kind of wonder if they're going to put other Gundams in it. Like, are we going to be able to download, like, perhaps the RX-78? Is there going to be multiplayer?
Find me. I'm here.
Man, I can't wait. I really can't. All right, guys. You know what? Wings of Thieves. Might as well go ahead and watch this too. This is actually so. If you know what, if I come back tonight, maybe I'll play a little Ace Combat. I would almost enjoy that more than the Armored Core. I've played every Ace Combat game there ever was.
So you're the next one.
And most of them I've played through 3 or 4 times. Like, I absolutely love the Ace Combat games. I didn't enjoy 7 as much.
Some sort of symbol.
But the visuals on this, like, look at that. I mean, it almost looks real. Yeah, and apparently this one's going to have, like, land aircraft carriers, like big old mobile land bases.
Where are you going, Copter?
Cover Tasha, Rex.
But I guess, from what I understand, they're going back to a little bit
That's
more
where
of
the
the
Wings of Thieves
mechanics from,
comes
like, Ace Combat 5,
Legendary
which was actually
savior.
one of my favorites. I really
DD
liked the
wants the
mechanics in that one.
legendary
4
savior to
was
get as
honestly
much
my
publicity
truly
as
favorite
possible.
gameplay.
More exposure, the better.
Cannon firing. We're gonna be wiped out.
6 was okay. 7,
Sorry, Rex.
I don't like how they incorporated like the whole special move thing. I just want to fly the plane. I don't want special moves. Maybe special weapons, but not special moves.
Up is within reach.
The Terminus fingers.
What, the imposter?
Sharing information isn't always
Yeah, look at that.
people the truth.
I mean, that is just gorgeous. And I'm wondering how much of this cutscenes and like, so the brief gameplay that I saw of it already, like actual, you know, playthrough footage, the lighting on the different planes with the different coatings was just like, it looked incredible.
You never ran away, did you?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Let's go, Rex.
This will be on my to get list
Go
for
take
sure.
what's yours.
And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if I'll probably starve myself for a week to get this one when it comes out. I'm kind of bad about that when it comes to the Ace Combat. I've made sacrifices for it before.
Did you know?
Why not
there
do
are
it
3
again?
kind of aces.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. Let me just kill this. Let's close this. I guess we could watch some arrest videos. You guys want to watch arrest videos? Watch people have worse days than we have. Wolfpack, if you're still in here, I recommend that. Go watch some arrest videos. I ran across one the other day and I was having a shit day, man, and just watching the interaction of those people with the cops, I was like, I don't have it so bad. Life's good. Anyway, on that note, you guys, I'm going to get out of here for a few. I may come back and play some games with you. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. For sure. I ain't got nothing better to do, so I'm probably going to sit around and stream some video games and surf the internet, and I might as well do it with you guys. Huh? But, Wolfpack, again, my condolences, my friend, if you're still here in the room. If not, maybe you'll watch the VOD later. Heart goes out to you. Zaza, thank you for stopping in. It was a pleasure talking with you. You kind of lightened up a little bit of the seriousness. Thank you for that. Grey Death, thank you for stopping in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. again, thanks for hanging out with me while I built the high-grade Messer. There's probably more to come with this little guy. Not sure what the next build is going to be. I might just go start scribing this thing. Might just stick with the Messer for a minute. I got to think about it. I got to plan some content out for you guys. But on that note, again, thank you, everybody. Please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. If you think anybody like this kind of stuff, I'm always looking for more people to hang out with as I do it. So, on that note, have a good night, everybody. Be safe, stay out of trouble, and have a red night.